When you start looking for a motorcycle helmet, you quickly realize there are much more questions than you expected. In this video, we're going to answer 7 important questions riders ask before buying a helmet. From safety and fit to price, comfort and materials. And because we covered many of these topics much more in depth in our own specific video, you'll find links in the description to all of these videos so you can learn much more about a specific topic. We got quite a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. When is a helmet actually good enough? A lot of riders think as long as it's certified, it's fine. And yes, certification means it meets the minimum safety standard, but that's not all. First, it fits your head properly. A perfect helmet that doesn't fit you is not as good as a simple one that does. Second, it's comfortable enough that you actually want to wear it every ride. The safest helmet in the world is useless if it stays at home. And third, it meets newer and stricter safety standards. Passing the minimum legal test means it's allowed to be sold. A helmet that's really good enough is tested against modern, tougher standards that better match real-world crashes. So, good enough isn't about the cheapest or the most expensive. It's a helmet that fits right, feels right and protects you properly for your kind of riding. How much should you really spend on a helmet? Most people think there's one correct number, but the truth is, it depends on what you're looking for. Any certified helmet will protect you well in case of an accident. But when you spend more, you usually get better comfort, better materials, better ventilation, better noise isolation, less weight and more features. Here's a simple way to think about it. Spend at least enough to get a certified helmet that fits you perfectly and feels good for long rides. After that, decide which comfort level, noise isolation, ventilation and features you want, because that's what you're mostly paying for. What makes one helmet safer than another? A lot of people look at the price or the brand, but the biggest difference is in the safety standards it's tested to. Not all certifications are equal. For example, ECE 2206 is much stricter than the older ECE 2205. The newer standard tests more impact points, higher speeds and more real-world crash situations. On top of that, some helmets are even tested further with extra standards like FIM, PJ or SHARP ratings. Those don't replace certification, but they add another layer of proof of how safe a helmet really is. So, what really makes one helmet safer than another? Not the price, not the brand, but the level of testing it's been through. Is a used helmet ever a good idea? Short answer, almost never. The problem is you can't see damage inside a helmet. Even if the outside looks perfectly fine, the inside foam can be crushed or cracked from a previous crash or drop. And once that foam is damaged, it will not offer the highest protection anymore. Another issue is the age. Helmet materials slowly get more brittle over time, even if the helmet is barely used. So an older helmet is already less effective in a crash. The only time a used helmet might make sense is if you know the full history, you know it's never been dropped and it's still well within its lifespan. But even then, it's still a risk. Does weight really matter in a helmet? Short answer, yes, more than most people think. A heavier helmet doesn't just feel heavier in your hands, but it can also cause more neck fatigue on the bike. But weight is not everything. A very light helmet that doesn't fit well or isn't comfortable can still be less effective than a heavier one that fits perfectly. The sweet spot is a helmet that's light enough to reduce fatigue, but still feels solid, stable and well balanced on your head. So yes, weight matters. Not for one short ride, but for every minute you're wearing it. What happens if you crash with a cheap helmet? The honest answer, it depends on what kind of cheap we're talking about. If it's a properly certified helmet and it's designed to protect your head, it offers great protection. But here's the difference, it usually only meets the minimum safety standard. But then there's the other kind of cheap like Temu helmets. Many of those are made from very basic plastic like ABS and some of them can crack or shatter instead of absorbing the impact. So yes, there's a big difference between budget but certified and cheap and unsafe. Your head deserves more than the absolute cheapest option. Is comfort as important as safety? Most riders think safety always comes first, and they're right, but here's the truth. Comfort and safety are much more connected than you think. A helmet can be extremely safe on paper, but if it's uncomfortable, painful or too large, your safety may also not be as good anymore. A helmet that's too big and has too much space inside can move or even come off in a crash, which makes it much less protective. So no, comfort is not more important than safety, but without comfort, safety doesn't work to its full extent. Alright, with that said, this video comes to an end, and we're curious to know what you guys think of these questions. Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Maybe you have a different question. Place your question down in the comments and we'll do our best to answer it. Head over to championhelmets.com where we offer the lowest price guaranteed and very sharp discount bundles. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel for more reviews like this in your feed. Guys, buy smart and ride safe. Until next time.